Hello everyone, welcome along to the third round of the 2022 ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy. And we're back with RaceRoom Experience. It's Alex, Alex this time alongside Vincent. Vincent, a very good evening, my friend. Halfway through the initial sort of foray coming into this round, I mean, the public have voted. We decided the track was going to be Watkins Glen, so we've gone stateside again after round 2 at Daytona, but they've gone with the plucky Formula 4 cars. This is going to be really interesting, considering the leaderboard where everyone had a week to qualify.
Yeah, and as we have a look already on the practice server and the different couple of times on the leaderboard, it seems really promising on the timetables, so I'm really looking forward to this racing this evening.
Indeed, likewise. For those wondering about the format of the Community Trophy, slightly different. We were on Assetto Corsa Competizione last year, but we have switched to RaceRoom Experience. One of the good things is it's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session. Then we're going to have two 20-minute races, with race 2 being a reverse grid affair. And that really normally puts the cat amongst the proverbial pigeons. Looking back at the championship standings after the opening 4 races, Rubis' Kirill Antonov leads the standings on 144 points, with Luciano Vidvoort from the Netherlands completing the top 2, 5 points between them. Antonov's had a win and 2/3 so far, but is not placed outside of the top 8. Vidvoort has had an 8th, a 4th, and 2 second positions. Ilya Drovosekov from Ballas Esports rounds out the top 3, and they're covered by 10 points. You add another 10 points to that gap. It's Ottaviani from Virtual Drivers by TX3 that rounds out the top 4 positions. But we've had 3 different race winners in the 2022 ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy. Antonov took the opening win at Brands Hatch when we went back to the 1990s, the glory days of the DTM, with the likes of the Mercedes 190 2.3 16-valve Cosworths and, of course, the iconic E30 BMW M3. Oliver Hecker from Ares Gaming's took the second win, but then it was Williams Esports, Jack Keithley, who has got a lot of RaceRoom experience credence through his efforts through the ADAC Gitim Masters Esports Championships over the past few seasons. He took the double at Daytona. But one of the interesting things, Vincent, is that the top 24 after the 5 rounds that we've got online before the official return to the ADAC SimRacing Expo this coming December, the top 24 will qualify to actually be on site to battle for the top prizes.
Yeah, and that's also a bit different compared to last year, because we have a lot of changes this year on the stage, so everyone can look forward to it. This will be an enormous, big, and funny event. And as I said before, we had different winners, we have different cars. We started with DTM, Group C, and now we got to Formula. So it's a really colorful choice of tracks and cars. And yeah, at the start of the season, the drivers showed us a really, really strong pace with every kind of combinations. And I'm really looking forward to this today. We are calling halftime today, so we maybe will see today some of the drivers getting a bit of ahead on the point standings, or maybe not. I would call it everything is open today, and maybe we will see some changes today.
We could, on the leaderboard for round 3 of the 2022 ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy, top 36 drivers covered by just under 7.5 tenths. And then the top 72 drivers, I think we had about the best part of nearly 660 drivers go through the leaderboard stage. Top 72 covered by just over 1.6 seconds. But as Vincent rightly put there is an opportunity for things to change. Now, for those wondering about the remainder of the calendar, we go to Spielberg in Austria for round 4 at the Red Bull Ring, and that will be on the 1st of September. And then the Nürburgring will host the final stage of the online qualification, so we'll head to the Nürburgring on the 6th of October. But then for those wondering, where are we racing for the semi-final and the final, which will take place at the Nürnberg Messe on the 2nd and the 3rd of December. We'll be heading to the virtual recreation of the iconic circuit that still to this day is on the DTM calendar. I think a firm favourite of everyone's, Vincent. the Norrisring, right by the banks of the Ditzenteich.
Oh yeah, and maybe some of you here watching us saw some races on Norris Ring. Norris Ring is every time racing pure with a lot of overtaking, slipstream racing, maybe some strategy calls, also with the pit stop with traffic. So it's definitely not easy, and it's another thing racing it on stage with a lot of people they're watching someone driving. That's would be really interesting, and I don't know if it's a big thing for drivers getting a bit more under pressure, which could lead to more mistakes or not. This will also be really interesting.
Actually, now that you mention it, because the SRO recently had the esports sim racing night at Spa-Francorchamps with a lot of the bigger names within the ACC community, the likes of Nars Noyox, Tobias Pfeffer, Dennis Schoeninger, Michi Tauscher, David Tonitza, and a lot of them, they were all going for prize money at the sim racing night at Spa-Francorchamps, and things can happen in events, and we have to, our thoughts are really with Kamil Pawlowski, Tonitza's teammate at Scuderia Ferrari Veles Racing, that 3 laps from the end, his computer disconnected from the server. And I've never heard of that happen at a LAN event, so it can show you that being outside of your comfort zone, which these drivers are in at the moment for this round and also for the next 2 rounds before we head to Nuremberg, they're comfortable now, Vincent. I think once the spotlights are on them and they are in front of a live audience, because for those wondering, for this year's ADAC SimRacing Expo, we have over 15,000 square meters of space, which means that there'll be a dedicated sim racing and teams area, but then we'll also have over 10,000 square meters for exhibitors. So the good thing is there's going to be a little something for everybody as well.
Definitely for everybody. As you said, there's so much what's coming together late this year. A lot of racing competition, all combined. It will be a lot of fun for everyone, definitely for sure. Everybody should keep the first week of December free, definitely. If not, I want to see the reason why.
But yeah, but also if they can't make it, I'm sure that we'll be able to provide a welcome insight with the stream over the 4 days like we have done in the previous years. I mean, having been part of the ADAC Sim Racing Expo with the road to the SRE with the professional trophy with my good friend Yusuf bin Sahal, and then we ended up doing the community trophy finals. If anyone might remember who were the respective winners of both the professional and the community trophy, I should know because I've got to remember all of this as well. James Baldwin, who just picked up the SRO Esports GTWC Sprint Europe title last night, won the professional trophy. Last year of the community trophy, it's now recent newbie at Corvana Gaming, Florian Bauer, who just a day after graduating from secondary school, he gets his first official professional contract. And I did have a cheeky chat with Danny Gusa, our good friend, and I said, you know, like literally, Flo Bauer gets a contract. He said, "Yeah, I've got to pick him up before all these other guys do," because Florian is a talent. That's why there are platforms like this with the ADAC Sim Racing Expo, where we actually get people put under the spotlight. And I think in the community trophy, that's even more paramount, isn't it, Vincent? That some of these drivers that think, well, I could make it as a professional sim racer, this is where they can prove themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Over the last year of the community trophy, we had also the Cupra Cup and different things running on RaceRoom. And if you have a look on the social media accounts, different kind of things, there were a lot of changes in the RaceRoom community. For example, we had your esports growing up with some really good drivers as well. We are virtual drivers for TX3, also a good combination with a lot of good drivers, which we have here today, also with us, which I'm really happy to see that a lot of people are competing with us here as well, and they are really fast. I mean, for example, Moritz Löhner, also he is one of the best drivers in RaceRoom with Jack Heafley, for example, and he's also good competing right now on iRacing and different kind of things, and also his teammates from the esport all can compete on a really high level, and it's open for everyone that they can prove themselves on every different kind of simulation and get there to the professional level. Everything is possible, definitely.
And especially with Moritz Lerner, multi-time ADAC GT Masters Esports champion, now runs in the DTM trophy in real life. So it can show that from something as simple as competing on a platform such as RaceRoom Experience, and a big thank you to the team for helping us to run the community trophy on a new platform for 2019. If memory serves me correctly, Vincent, I think Moritz was one of the trophy winners at the 2019 SimRacing Expo, because I think, remember back then, now there was a Porsche race, and I think Moritz was one of the people that picked up a trophy, if I remember correctly.
To be honest, this was before my time.
You see, that's how far, that's how much research I have to do as a commentator here. But of course, you know, last year, coming back to last year's Adiatis Sim Racing Expo, Vincent, you know, it was really good to see a lot of people after the pandemic being able to come back and see all the exhibitors again. You know, like the Virtual Racing Lounge, Hoisingveld, D-Box, Abruzzi, Q Controls. We've got a lot of exhibitors this year, but for a lot of people to be able to make the trip down to the Nürburgring and to see the expo again, it must have been a really, really great feeling for a lot of people, wasn't it?
It was definitely. I mean, I guess last year went way bigger than before. Also, the different kind of people where they came from everywhere, all were really happy to see each other. That was, I think, one of the, as well, big opportunities to get the community a bit together, get in touch with each other, and this is also a big and very good thing for the expo itself. The connection between the people, you can see it grows. It creates memories, really good ones. Everyone has their different kind of highlights, and that's the really beautiful thing about it.
You know what? I mean, to be honest with you, I was possibly looking forward to an opportunity to making over to the Nürburgring last year, but I'm glad that in 2022 that completely changes, and I'm looking forward to being part of the team that will be helping to provide a lot of exciting times this year, and I'm really looking forward to going to Nuremberg. I mean, for those that we've already put on our relevant social medias, so don't forget to follow us at Adiati SimRacing Expo or at SimRacing Expo on quite a few multitude of platforms. When we did actually say, what's the difference between Nürburg and Nuremberg? Well, Nuremberg is based in Franconia, whereas Nürburg is based right by the Nordschleife. Am I right there, Vincent? I hope I got my pronunciations there correct as well.
You did pretty well, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, tickets will be on. Keep this date in your diary, folks. September the 15th is when we finally are able to offer you people out there that are looking to come to the SimRacing Expo tickets for the event itself, where there will be plenty of exhibitors. We also have to say, really good to strike up again the partnership with Retro Classics Bavaria, who will also be on site. But getting closer and closer to that window of where it's going to be a 10-minute qualifying. Now, Vincent, really coming onto this circuit, it's been around since the mid-1950s. Very challenging. There's going to be there's the long back straight. We're not going to be using the inner loop on this one, where it's one of the most difficult chicanes, I think, in modern day motorsport to get yourself through and make an overtake on somebody else. There's a lot of overtaking opportunities here, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. It's quite reminds me. Don't hurt me now. Some part of the track may be a bit familiar to the Nürburgring GP part. I think there is the really important thing to stick behind the cars, wait for the opportunities, using the slipstream and don't getting into trouble with the dirty air with the car in front of you, because I would mind some drivers could try to overtake out of the corners with a good exit, but I guess the oversteer or the understeer, excuse me, the understeer will have a few words with them.
Yeah. Now the cars that we're using are the Formula 4, the Tatuus based cars. Now this car actually helped to bring along in 2014 the ADAC Formula 4 Championship, which replaced ADAC Formula Masters, which was based on the previous, I think, the Dallara F312 chassis. And previous champions are some that have actually made it into FIA Formula 2 and FIA Formula 3. Take last year's champion, currently running in FIA Formula 3, Oliver Behrman from the United Kingdom. Also, Yuri Vips, who's running in Formula 2, as has Theo Pourchaire, who's also currently running in Formula 2, and then Johnny Edgar, who's now made his return back to Formula 3 after his Crohn's diagnosis earlier on this year. They've all been champions of the ADAC Formula 4 Championship, which has been going since around about 2015. But very shortly, in the next few moments, we are going to go into a 10-minute qualifying. Now, Vincent, you and I have been keeping an eye on the times so far, and it has been incredibly close. I mean, thousands have separated drivers earlier on whilst they were out on free practice.
Yeah, and it is again really close, which I really like to see. And I can't definitely say for sure, but the top 20 will give us a very delicious race.
And a very, very tasty qualifying as well. To quote
Yes.
one particular commentator, we have 32 cars, and when you consider the amount of horsepower that these 1.4 litre multi-jet Abarth engines pump out, that's 160 brake horsepower. We're going to have just north of 5,100 brake horsepower launching off the line when we go racing both times. But the power to weight ratio, it's a very, very capable car in its own right. So we're going to see, I mean, at the moment, we're just also keeping an eye on free practice where the top 20 are covered by just over 9/10. And we saw in the leaderboard, the top 20 were covered by less than 5/10. That's how competitive these drivers are. But at the moment, it is Matija Markovic that is probably going to be one of the quickest out there, because I've just seen him put in. Vincent, you're not going to believe this. You're seeing this as well. 1 minute 46.597, right? His leaderboard time, where he was ahead of Drofosikov by 71 thousandths, was a 1 minute 47.375. Ridiculous pace that Markovic is showing at the moment. And that driver, I'm just looking at the moment where he is in the standings, is 12th currently. So Markovic could have a little bit of a point to prove tonight in these single-seater cars.
Yes. As I said earlier, there could be some changes today on the ranking for this championship. Yeah, it's... Wow, maybe he threw his sandbags overboard, I don't know, but damn, son. This is getting heated up. I mean, over like 20 minutes when they were practicing, he was like half a second slower, and now he improves, and I don't know, maybe he haven't practiced at all and just getting now his laps in, maybe that's it, but it looks really promising. And yeah, if Markovic is doing so pretty well as well in qualifying, then he maybe get his chance to rank or to step up a bit on the leaderboard for the championship.
Yes, indeed, and that could mean the likes of Ben Bunky, who actually rounds out second, who's actually second, but very shortly we're going to be getting into
Microphone
qualification.
activated. Microphone muted.
So the drivers now will be getting underway for their 10 minutes qualifying session here at the Glen, Watkins Glen International, established back in 1956, and Ben Spunky from Dor Esports. Dor Motorsport also has a karting team, which I've had the pleasure of commentating on in RMC Germany. Matija Markovic is going to be one of those drivers that really has to showcase the pace that he's shown both in the leaderboard but also more recently in free practice. Vincent, I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to put you under, I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I'm not going to ask you to put any predictions.
No.
But we've already had someone have a massive moment and has decided to return to garage already, and that was coming down the back straightaway. But we can see now that the cars are going to have to deal with a lot of elevation changes. Now, considering the weight of the cars is quite minuscule, probably around about 600 kilos, it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers work their way around the track. And you said about slipstream. Markovic is going to be working with the driver in front, or might be using the driver in front as a bit of a yardstick just to gauge that top speed down this back straightaway. And you can see now that a lot of the drivers, including Markovic, are doing what this now. The thing is, in qualifying, in karting, in real life, you slow down like that, you can actually get a penalty. But they don't do that in RaceRoom experience. But Markovic is gearing up, isn't he?
Yeah, the thing is, we do see this now really often. Example in most of the simulations right now. That's the issue. All are running out of the pits, trying to be the first who crosses the start-finish line to get their valid times in. And in this big pack, there are some dangerous things, like if you want to try to use the slipstream and the driver in front of you is slower than you, then you have an issue, because maybe you are capable of driving P1 or something else and you can't because you're getting blocked. Then it's wise to choose, okay, I'm going to wait a bit on the right side, let them all pass, and then on the back of the field trying to get my laps in. That's a really good idea and should be the safer one, to be honest.
But sometimes clear around, like Yannick Mund from MJR Esports. Mund was 5th in the leaderboard, but currently sits P11. Has placed in the top 11 3 times so far over the course of the ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy, but he's on the cusp of putting down the first benchmark as we're into the first 3 minutes of this 10-minute qualification session. Yannick Mund crosses the line. What's the time going to be? 1 minute 47.849 as Gregor Hujek from Virtual Drivers by TX3 goes purple in sector number 1. As right, that's Ballas Esports Kilian Goit from the Netherlands that goes quicker by just over 1/10 and a half. But I'm going to make a prediction of my own here. I think we're going to be in the low 1 minute 47s for qualifying, unless Markovic pulls out one hell of a lap time, because Hujek's on course for beating Goit's lap time right now as the bright green colour with a little bit of blue accent comes across towards the line and goes P3, because Germany's Alex Morzin has just gone top of the timesheets ahead of Alexander Grünwald from Austria. And then we've got the driver with the longest name in the Community Trophy, Cody Nikola Latkovsky, has just gone P3, but Markovic already into the 1 minute 47.1, so 1 minute 47.164, and that is ahead of Leonard Carton, also from T3 Motorsports, who also quite recently ran with the likes of Nicky Thiem and Esme Hawkey in the DTM last year with the Lamborghini Huracan. And Kunze has just gone P2, and that's Julian Kunze, who was 10th on the leaderboard. Yannick Mund's just gone purple in sector number 1 as we're nearly halfway through this qualifying session. But Vincent, these times are getting closer and closer. I mean, already top 18 with Krevi from Finland rounding out, and Yannick Mund's just gone P3 and has gone purple in sectors 1 and 3. Top 19 covered by just under a second. It's pretty close.
Yeah, we already saw it on the practice times that we have like about the top 22 drivers being stick together under 1 second, and it's really impressive to see as well here Clemens Fischer. Fastest lap already, sector 1. Again, it seems that there maybe Yannick and Markovic already, maybe lost a bit of time there. But damn, sector 2 was like 1 second. So, okay, this won't be a good time. But it's interesting to see we have, and Markovic leading within 47.1. And I hope that we will see at 46 at least. And
okay. We'll see what happens with that one. Gregor Hujek goes up into P4 as Benson Bunky from Dor Esports goes into the 146s, and that driver has burst my prediction clean out of the water and gone with Vincent on that particular occasion. 1 minute 46.978, but Kunze goes even quicker by a tenth. 1 minute 46.876. And Kunze was 10th, did a best effort of a 1 minute 47.685. I think you were right, Vincent, with the fact that there has been a little bit of sandbagging. They've been keeping an eye on the times in the leaderboard, but now we've got that wonderful, delicious aperitif on the menu before we get the main course of the 2 races coming up with just over 3 minutes to go. But it's Kunze from Germany, 1 minute 46.876. So only 2 drivers. Markovic, surprisingly enough, though, Vincent, has yet to break in to the high 1 minute 46s, and there's still just over 3 minutes to go in quali.
Yeah, that's not pretty much left, and we can. Oh my god, literally closed 3/10 in sector 1. This could be the lows 46, maybe, but it's really interesting.
Well, he's over a quarter of a second up in sector 1, a 31.644 for the and he's
oh my gosh.
Oh, that's he's nearly 4 tenths up. We're in the mid 146s, people, out of the final corner. Matija Markovic, as someone goes off, and that's onto the entrance. 1 minute 46.640. That was a 10th and a half. Oh my goodness. Markovic has definitely brought the fireworks here to the Glen.
Yeah.
That's an incredible lap time. A 1 minute 46.790. 87 thousandths quicker than Julian Kunze from Germany. Benson Bunky from Dor Esports rounds out the top 3. Then it's Latkovsky. Drovosekov, who is currently 3rd in the championship standings. Next up, Joyce Blöcker, who was 16th and has yet to place on the championship standings, may not have gotten through up until this particular moment. Yannick Mund from MJR Esports. Then we've got Lapanik, Ivanov and Grunwald from Austria running out the top 10 positions, covered by nearly 6/10 of a second. Now, this is a very different situation altogether, Vincent, comparing the leaderboard, where when I rattled off my stats earlier on, the top 36 covered by 7.5 tenths, that covers the top 19 in this session. So it's still looking rather close altogether, because the top 26 with Rie from Germany is 0.963 seconds separating pole position to 26th place. That's insane competition.
Yeah, it's wonderful, to be honest. I really love to see this. So many drivers being on their maximum pace and trying to get the laps in, and we're so close. That's really impressive. That's pro league, to be honest. I mean, they really nailing it, to be honest, today. Which we already could saw in the first round with the old DTM versions on Branch Hatch. It was the same thing, really close, great racing. It looked really promising today as well. And there we got the final sheet. Now, Markovic with the 46.7, really impressive.
Yep, Julian Kunze in 2nd position, 1 minute 46.876. Benson Bunky in 3rd, ahead of Leonard Carton. Cody Nikola Latkovsky running at the top 5, covered by just over 3 tenths, with Kirill Antonov, Ilya Drovosikov, Joyce Blöcker Yannick Mund and Mikhail Panik rounding out the top 10. Roman Ivanov and Pavel Mukonin rounding out the top 6 rows ahead of Alexander Grunwald, Gregor Hujek, Clemens Fischer, Alex Mosin, Mihai Nej, Kilian Goit, Matthias Papendorf and Daniel Berker rounding out the top 20. Vidvoort had a bit of a shocker there, down in 21st position, as we are literally seconds away from getting our first of 2 races going. Everyone's readying up on the grid, so we're going to have 32 drivers around this circuit, which is, I think, just not too short off of 5.5 kilometers in length. You can see it's 28 degrees track temperature, minimal wind, but sunny and dry. Vincent, perfect conditions for racing here on the ADAC SimRacing Community Trophy.
Definitely, it looks really promising today, and I can't wait till these 20 seconds are gone and we will see them go racing.
So at the moment, coming into the 3rd round of the 2022 ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy here at Watkins Glen. Kirill Antonov is the championship leader as the lights start to flash. Ladies and gentlemen, we are primed and ready, because as soon as they get the green lights, we are going to be off and racing for 20 minutes. And it's lights out, they're underway for the first race of round 3, and Markovic gets a very, very good start heading into
very clean,
the first. Very clean indeed from all the field, heading into the right-hander, the first right-hander on the circuit. There are going to be some sparks from the rear back axles of these cars as they go up the hill through turns 2 and into 3. This is the first of multiple elevation changes. Benson Bunky has got Latkovsky right in the wheel tracks, followed by Antonov as we ride on.
Oh, he's sniffing on the rear. Ready for Markovic.
That's bump drafting at its very finest. He pulls to the left-hand side to get the over-under on Markovic, and they got Carton just behind in 3rd place. A bit of a wide run out of that corner from Markovic. Kuntze uses the exit curb just to help. As we've just had a spinner there. That's Kilian Goit, who was a little bit further up the order and drops all the way down to stone dead last. And a very good evening to our good friends at Gridfinder, who have a team running in the professional trophy, which has just had its opening round. Their 2nd round will be heading to Mount Panorama on August 20th, as Leonard Carton in the slipstream of Kunze and Markovic, who continues to lead as they make their way down this nice little chicane here, Vincent. You can see that Kunze already putting the defense on Leonard Carton, with Banky really closing in on the 3rd place car as we're fast approaching at the end of lap number 2, I think.
And we got a big train here, I would say. So I mean, we have everyone is still really close behind each other, everyone, and it looks really interesting. And it seems that the slipstream on the straight as well keeps the cars really close together, and quite stepping back from the spin. Maybe he tried to do the Verstappen move and get his tires warm up.
Oh dear! he did a Hungarian 360 at Watkins Glen. That would have been an inspired move. But we go back to the battle for the lead. Kunze leading behind Markovic as they come through this right-hand kink that brings them onto the back straight away.
They are bump drafting.
Yeah, they're properly bump drafting. And Banky going to the outside of Carton as Kunze tries to go towards the outside of Markovic into the next right-hander. Sweeps to the inside, tries to get the undercuts. Banky's got Antonov and Latkovsky not too far behind. Drovosekov is about half a second away from 6th position. Blöcker, Mund and Mukonin now round out the top 10 positions as we're nearly 3 minutes through on this opening 20-minute race. Lap 2 very much underway. One of the other things that I think is going to be a bit of a danger point here for these drivers, Vincent, is the final right-hander, because they sweep down, as we're going to see now, as they're all jockeying for position into this right-hander here, and someone has had a Tierhoff has just had a moment and has just dropped to the back of the grid. But coming into the final right-hander, that's where there could be a little bit of a kiss with the wall on the outside.
Yeah, if they overdo it with the car, yes, definitely. But I would say, as far as I could see, perhaps, and right now as well, I guess they pretty much ordered with handling it, and yeah, it seems that this car is really good to handle overall with the slipstream and the dirty air. It seems pretty interesting, and I don't know. I guess Leonard Carden gets a bit under pressure from Benebanki because I saw him the last lap weaving behind him, trying to overtake him. And yeah, Benebanki is also under pressure from Julian Antonov because he wants his points. He wants to stick in the upper parts of the championship, but he is waiting on P5 for his opportunities. And as you can see,
Yep.
getting
It-
wide.
Yep. Because I'm looking at the way things are with Voigt in 14th
Did he get
position.
through?
Bunky
He
is trying to
did.
look. He nearly did. He nearly did. He's looking up the inside of the next left-hander. It's Carlton to the outside. Bunky, Antonov, and Latkovsky. It's 2x2. That's a 4-way scrap over third position. That's craziness
Oh
here at
my
Watkins
God.
Glen. As Bunky trying to go round the outside, as Leonard Carton is to the inside.
Yeah, he got
This is going to be close. It's like Noah's Ark. They've got him at 2x2. Hurrah's Carton will have the inside line, but Banky's going to keep it pinned to the outside and actually gets through. But does he exceed? Oh, he went a little bit wide there, but he has managed to get through on Leonard Carton to take that fourth position. And I think Latkovsky has also gotten through. Yes, he has. So more changes afoot. This is one of those, like, you know, like where we had with the DTM cars, it was a bit of like strategic chess. Well, Markovic and Kunze are within 2.5 tenths of each other, and they galloped away. But Banky, hopefully, with a bit of clear air, might be able to chase them down in this first race.
amazing. But maybe, I don't know if you saw it on the first back straight. Could it be that Benebanki and Carton both got at the same time bump draft? Someone crashed into the wall. I don't know who. It was Graseman maybe.
Yeah, Klausman just dropped all the way down to 30th position. Ouch. Make that to the back end of the field, and hopefully that damage is not terminal for the German driver. But yeah, like you were saying, Kunze and Markovic were very much, you know, very close and personal. But if Kunze makes mistakes like that, that is going to hurt him in terms of keeping on level pecking with, on level terms with Markovic, because 13.5 minutes to go. Kunze is probably, I would say, maybe causing more problems with his tyres because he's in that dirty out of Markovic, and if he tries to pull out of the slipstream, then that's going to first of all slow him down, and if he's not at the right place at the right time, and he has a moment where he accidentally presses the throttle or the brakes too hard, then that screws up the tyres, doesn't it? Stewart's decision. Linus Krise drive through penalty in ignoring slow down warnings. Oh dear, first slap of the rest of the night. And that's for the driver in 25th position there, Vincent.
That's I didn't expect that to happen, to be honest. But okay, that's bad for him. Maybe we got better luck in the second race and is a bit more careful about the penalties. But getting back to the topic, to be honest, I think Kunze is doing a pretty well job. He is waiting, and Markovic pushing him onto this bump drafting on the straights, that they both can get their space. That Benebanki and his name it's hard. That they're not catching them, and he also tries on the oncoming turn to not being in his slipstream, to get out of it and have a better angle right into the mid corner and getting a good exit. But as we can see, Benebanki also getting bump drafted by him, so they are working like with a separated version of a team, trying to catch up to them. 1 second, 3/10 to go, so maybe they will catch up. What do you think?
Well, the thing is, Bunky's got has got a curriculum vitae that I'm completely envious of. Esports WTCR World Champion, 2022 GT Masters Esports Team Champion, 2-time Slovak National Champion. I mean, you don't just pick up those kind of titles unless you are very, very impressive at what you're doing. The problem is that seeing, because I've just actually looked on his Twitter profile, he makes me feel like an old age pensioner within the sim racing community. He's 23, and by the time we hit the ADAC SimRacing Expo in December, I'll be 45 years of age. So I'm old enough to be Vince's dad. That's quite embarrassing thing to admit round about now here, Vincent. But hey, it is what it is.
It's not embarrassing because sim racing is for everyone and every age.
Exactly. Especially with if anyone might remember that a very old Japanese pensioner was in his 90s when he got given a console, a steering wheel, a set of pedals, and even he was enjoying himself. So that just goes to show the reach of the sim racing community. We're about to get to the halfway point, and Cody Nikola Latkovsky battling away with Bensi Bunky for that third position. The gap has shrunk, though, Vincent, to about 1.2 seconds. So Bunky only taking about a tenth out of Kunze, who is right in earshot of Markovic. And at the halfway point, as you said, you noticed this earlier on, Kunze doing a fantastic job of keeping Markovic very, very honest indeed.
Yes, and the gap got closer as well. Now we got under 1 second, and I see Markovic, wiggling around a bit on the turn-ins on the corner, which he shouldn't do. He should know Kunze is waiting, and he has to accept it, because he can't run away with the slipstream. So he tries to get his tires into the window which he wants to, and try to get on his pace, because Bunky and Nicolas Kowskis are closing the gap. And also Karten and Antonov fighting there in the back, because Antonov is trying to get. Oh, there is a free wide closely. It's now too wide. The third last turn. Oh, and Kirin Antonov tries to stay ahead. Was he before in 5th place, or did he just get it? I don't know.
He just made the move on Karten as Drovosekov also got through. And that looks to be Karten, I think, down in 7th position. Yeah, I do see the flash of green around the driver's helmet. So that to me says that is Leonard Karten. Joyce Blöcker doing a great job in 8th position ahead of Ivanov with Mikhail Lapanik running at the top 10. But Voigt had a shocker in qualify. You know what? The Dutchman's been flying at the moment. He's only less than 2.5 tenths off of 10th position. And from that perspective, that is one hell of a comeback there, Vincent. I mean, especially with the amount of points that he'll gather for 10th place, which is 21 points. Now, looking at the way things stand, Antonov is in 5th, which is 31 points. Vitvoit is in 10th, which is nearly in 10th. Well, he was looking up the inside of Mikhail Lapanik right then, and Lapanik drifts wide. That's going to give Vitvoit the opportunity to get through. And if Vitvoit gets this position, that's going to be 21 points. But I've looked at where Drovosekov is at the moment, and is actually a position ahead. So the championship battle is really going to heat up in terms of where these drivers are as we look on board from Lapanik, because Vitvoit is immediately to the right hand side, and I think the Dutch driver is going to get the move done on the inside of the next right hander, depending on how brave he is, and he thinks better of it on that particular occasion with just over 7.5 minutes to go in the race.
Yeah, good racing from him. He defended it pretty well. He saw that that tried to stick his nose in, but he said, nope, I know that's my corner, my line, so yeah, I stick to it. That's really impressive racing. Good defending, which is not really easy, but I guess Luciano Viet, he showed some good performance on the last couple of races, so I guess we will see some attacks in the last 7 minutes to go. And I have to say, there were some changes. Kunze lost a bit of pace, like he was a bit slower in the last lap. He's now 6 tenths off, and Bene Bunky is now closing on him because he's now in the slipstream window and he's 3 tenths up with Nikola Tsarkovsky. So the battle around P2 right now is open again, ladies and gentlemen. So the last 6 minutes will be really heating up now.
Yeah, Kunze really coming under fire from Benki Bansi and Cody Nikola Lakovsky. This is going to be very, very close indeed. You can see the respective speeds and also their fastest laps respectively. So the battle between them, battle for P2, just over 0.3 of a second. You can see they're accelerating to over 200 kilometers an hour as they go into the braking zone for the next right-hander up the hill, whilst having to deal with camber. And now onto the back straightaway. We're going to keep these. Well, if we could keep those that information on our screens on how fast these drivers are going at certain points, especially down the back straight, which I would imagine will be the best part of north of 225 kilometers per hour, which is around about 140 plus miles an hour in. If you were looking at the speed limits over here in the United Kingdom, where I'm based at the moment. But Julian Kunze closing the gap again to Mateja Markovic, who continues to lead as we head into the final. Just under 6 minutes to go as things stand. Ooh, that was very close indeed to the wall there, wasn't it? And
did he hit it?
I don't know.
I would say I saw him hitting it. Maybe judge me if I'm wrong, but
I don't know. I was about to write something down, and all of a sudden you've gone like that, like the sharp intake of breath there, Vincent. My God.
Yeah, I would say you jinxed it. I mean, I literally saw it, him bumping into the wall, getting back, and now Benny Bunky is right behind him, closing up the gap, and he got some overspeed as well. He is really closing up. Maybe there will be an overtake. He's now right on his tail. Oh, it looks good. It looks good. It's closing, and he's right now next to side. No.
This is a bit too close for comfort right now.
Oh, he's
pushing it nearly
putting the
200 and.
Oh, he got a good line there, but Markovic already also losing pace. And there's the attack for Kunze. But he's sticking the nose in. Benny Bunky, a bit of oversteer.
There's Latkowski. Oh my Godfathers!
What's happening?
They just touched wheels, but Latkowski pins it around the outside of Kunze, and Latkowski has got on second position and has got it nailed. Brilliant job by Cody Nikola Latkowski from fourth to second within 3 corners and hung it round the outside of Julian Kunze, who now comes under attack from Vincent Bunky there, but Latkowski with the move of the night so far. Also, another bit of information just to keep you all updated, with Voigt is now up into 9th position and is just under 0.2 behind Ivanov. So is looking to close up in terms of the championship side of things. But Latkowski has done the best move, I think, of the championship so far here on the Community Trophy here, Vincent. That was a perler.
Well, yeah, wow. Just 2 of them in one corner. This was like, yeah, okay, I put you in my pocket. Let's go. Okay. I mean, they are sadly Benny Bunky the loser of this fight. Because he opened the fight and lost, most of it. And Latkowski is really closing Markovic, and we see again Benny Bunky again trying to attack against Julian Kunze now, trying to stick the nose behind his tail, trying to get a bit of the slipstream, maybe being able to attack now into the corner. He's waiting. He tried to get on the inside line for a good exit into the left-hander. He's closing, but he's patient. He's waiting, and now side by side into the left-hander, sticking. Oh no, not fast enough. Julian Kunze, I must say, he's doing a pretty good job. He had a good start into the season. Sadly, he couldn't participate in the second race on Daytona, but I guess he used his time when he had it to, and he's giving us here a good performance today by Julian Kunze. But Benny Bunky, was really close to win the last, if I remember, the ADAC Sport Championship, really close to win it. Sadly hadn't got a good start into this championship, but right now he is back on business and showing that he is capable of racing on the front row. And last 2 minutes are going, and there's the second last lap to go, I would say so. And it's keeping up interesting till the last driver has finished the race.
Yes, indeed, as Latkowski all over the back bumper of, the back wing, I should say, not back bumper. I'm not talking about touring cars here, Alex Goldschmidt. Thank you very much for that one. But he's right on the rear suspension of Markovic as they head down into T1. You can see Bunky's just lost a little bit of time behind Kunze as sparks fly from the back of Cody Nikola Latkowski's car, as they've got a couple of back markers just up ahead with a minute and 40
on. By the way, he's now 22. Maybe by overtaking. That's really bad for him.
Yeah, but as long as he gets into the top 24 come the end of the initial qualifications, as Latkovsky has really started to put the frighteners on Markovic. Markovic is defending. They've got one of the cars just up ahead, so Hudek, who was one of the top qualifiers in the leaderboard, qualifying ninth with a 1 minute 47.681 on the leaderboard for this round of the championship, is all the way down in 28th position. Vitvoet down in 26th, and that effectively gives Vitvoet 5 points. But Latkovsky wanting to get his opening win of the season, that will make it 4 different winners. Well, it will make it 4 different winners either way, but is it going to be Markovic or is it going to be Nikola Latkovsky? We're 30 seconds away from hitting the end of this race itself, and a gentleman driver cheering on Kirill Antonov, who's currently in P6 at the moment. But as things stand, it's Drovosekov, who out of the top 3 in the championship is the highest placed driver in 5th place, as we are now going to go on to our 13th and final lap. It's Matija Markovic who leads Cody Nikola Latkovsky by just over 0.3 of a second. Now up the hill through turns 2 and into the left at 3. And you can still see there, Vincent, that Gunza and Banki are still battling away like 2 petulant children on the playground wanting the last swing.
Just waiting for it. Yeah, there he comes. Trying. Oh, yeah, the speed is good. Side by side now.
Oh, it's also for the lead as well. Look, Latkovsky side by side, and then you've got Drovosekov, Antonov, and Carton all battling away over P5. Time has hit 0. This is going to be the last lap of the race, and you can see a little bit of desperation creeping in for Nikolai Latkovsky, but Markovic is just parking the car exactly where he needs to. Banki's trying to get through on Gunza. Drovosekov, Antonov, and Carton line astern. They're all in a row. As Kunze puts the brakes on, Banki trying to get the over/under. And
faster, okay.
Yeah, Banki, I think might, if he wants to do something, he's got to do something now into this right-hander. But Kunze, Banki's going to send it.
Oh.
That is a send and a half.
No.
And Kunze,
he tried it, but yeah, the line was too close to the curb, so he lost a bit of his.
Second one of the night. Well done, Matthias Papendorf, being the second driver tonight. Drive-through penalty for ignoring slowdown warnings as Banki really trying to put the frighteners on Kunze. We are fast approaching the end of this race. We come out of the final corner. It's going to be a run to the line, but it's going to be, is it going to be Markovic and Latkovsky? We're about to find out. It's a photo finish, and the winning mark was 12 thousandths. 12 thousandths, but Matija Markovic takes the victory in race 1 out of 2 here on round 3 of the 2022 Tatuus SimRacing Expo Community Trophy, pipping Cody Nikolai Latkovsky. What a race. They're still battling up and down the order. Alex Mosin takes 11th position, and Kilian Goit, who had that massive moment earlier on in the race, recovered to finish in P13 come the end of the race itself. Good to see Geeks Energy also being represented. Timon Kazman ending up 24th at the end of it all. But that was the best, well, it was 59 thousandths of a second. And also, thanks to our partners at Rig, we have the Rig fastest lap, and it goes to Ilya Drovosekov with a 1 minute 46.834, but Markovic takes the victory ahead of Nikola Latkovsky. Kunze battles away with Banki and pips the Dor Esports car for 3rd place. Drovosekov keeps in the championship hunt ahead of Antonov, who still, by my reckoning, leads the championship standings. Blöcker, Neg, and Fischer ran at the top 11. There you can see the remainder of the 32 drivers, with Klise from T3 Motorsport. We had Hujak, Mund, Grunwald, and a few others, unfortunately, retiring from that race. About, I think it was 5 DNFs out of 32, but still, Vincent, 27 drivers making it to the end of the race. That was an exciting one, wasn't it?
Oh, definitely. It was pretty awesome, as I a bit expected to see. It was really great. A lot of fight. There was pressure, heat, everything till the end of the race. Really good racing. The Monkey, for example, he tried everything to get there at his position he wanted to, but impressive racing from all there on the rows. And the reverse grid could get really interesting now, because I think now Benny Bunky could have a good chance now. Top 2 position.
Yeah, I mean, considering the fact that we have had one double winner so far in the Community Trophy, Jack Keithley last time out at Daytona. So I would, I think Bensi Bunky, Markovic, I think could be in there as well. Latkovsky, another driver that has shown really, really good performance all the way through. I think with a reverse grid race, what tends to happen is that the drivers now are gridding up for the full 20-minute reverse grid race. I mean, whenever you say reverse grid, as we like to say in the United Kingdom, you put the cat amongst the pigeons and see what happens next. But we're going to have 32 drivers, 20 minutes on the clock for the second race of what's been an enthralling roar around the Glen here for the third round of the Community Trophy. And thank you for everyone that has been watching with us. So the track temperature has increased by a further degree. Wind has dropped down. The red lights start to flash on the grid. And it's going to be the top 11 that have been reversed as we are now waiting for race 2 to get underway. That's it. Lights are out. Here we go. Alex Mosin from Ballas Esports is the one leading the field. Let's go through into turn 1, but quickly will lose that lead as they head down the hill for the very first time. Mihai Neg from Virtual Drivers by TX3, the Romanian driver, leads the field into as Clemens Fisher. How on earth did you manage to do that?
Okay, that's something we will have a look later.
We will definitely have a look at later.
Yeah.
Disqualified for speeding in the pit lane.
That's the back. 6, 7 people already attacking, and then the slipstream. Oh, this is getting messy into the first turn. Oh, look at this! Like, right there on the back. There's the race leader and Kunze wide outside with the cold tires. Alex Musin of Ballas Esports already trying to attacking here on the inside. Bumping into the rear. Ooh. Okay.
That's more than a bit cheeky. That is very, very cheeky indeed.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but don't try and do a Hamilton versus Rosberg in 2016 in Spa-Francorchamps. I thank you very much on that front. But look at the train.
Yes.
And I'm just keeping an eye. That's going to be. That's nearly half the field. That's ridiculous. Coming down the back straight.
And you only see 5 of them maybe because they're also behind. And that's interesting. Kirill Antonov, by the way, 4th place right now. Okay, I'm sorry, 3rd place right now. He's right now fighting to get on the front to get some points in. We have Benny Bunky 6th place right behind Antonov. Behind there is Blöckler, Guid, and Kotowski and Markovic still on the 9th place.
Antonov's got Antonov's lost the left rear wheel. Antonov is out of the race on the spot. Terminal damage on the left rear axle. I think there might have been some blows coming through that final corner. There's more Burker and Carton, and Burker's and Carton's just nudged the front wall.
Was Kunze as well?
Drovosekov's now up into 2nd, so Mihai Nej has now got away in the leading car. Alex Mosin, Kilian Goetz rounds out. Kilian Goetz rounds out the top 5. There's Latkovsky battling away with Joyce Blocker. So Blocker had a really good first race, finishing I think in the top 8, and now runs a genuine P6. And I'm just looking to see where Markovic is 8th at the moment. Oliver Hecker has now gotten up into 9th, being followed by I think that is that's Schmidt in 10th position. Peterman, Sokovikov in 13th. Krevi and Griezmann having a better run this time. Just looking a little bit further down the order, Kirill Antonov all the way is out of the race, and now Antonov I think might be in severe danger here, Vincent, of possibly having that lead reduced, because it was 10 points coming into this championship round, and Drovosekov is now going well, is battling away with quite a few other drivers. I think that is well, you got Ben Sibanki trying to battle away with Alex Mosin. Mosin has now been passed. Kilian Goit is right up the back wing of the German. But Drovosekov now has got an opportunity.
He lost it again.
Oh, dearie me.
That's
We've
the
had
next one we lost there. Damn. I mean, the first race was so clean, but now they takes out of the corner, trying to racing over the limit of the car and losing it. I mean, that's like 3 drivers which we lost now there.
I think, yeah, Mosin was the latest casualty. Antonov, well, we saw the left rear being ripped asunder. That was literally Antonov. Unfortunately, his car was sleeping with the resident New York fishery. But Markovic, we're here at the moment with Kilian Goit just up ahead. Markovic to the outside in towards the next right-hander. Is Markovic going to get the run because Latkovsky's not too far behind? Markovic puts it to the outside of Goit. And the Dutchman responds. And look at Latkovsky. He's also got some overspeed here. Latkovsky's going to go through on the next left of...
yeah, he's sticking in.
Yeah, but Goit's kept it pinned. Goit's kept it pinned. That's neatly done. But Latkovsky, that was where he did that dynamite double overtake just in the previous race, and he nearly interlocks wheels with Kilian Goit on that particular occasion. But great spatial awareness, or not so great spatial awareness here, possibly between Boris Schmidt and maybe... wondering who that might be. That might be Oliver Hecker alongside, as they're going to go into the next right-hander.
Oh, already close to neck. Oh,
Drovosekov will, if he wins this race, if Ilya wins this race, that is a maximum score of 45 points. Right. I'm going to do some mathematical calculations by what I'm going to work out. Hopefully, I think.
Searching.
So I've got to have a look through. Well, it'll be quite interesting to see how Drovosekov, how quickly he gets past.
Oh, well, it seems that is that after this race, if he survives, I don't want to jinx it.
Hey,
we don't talk about the last corner right now.
All I'm going to say is, Yannick, you brought in the commentator's curse last time, my friend.
No, last time was me.
Oh, was you? Or
Hey,
I thought it was Yannick.
Daytona.
I'm gonna blame Yannick anyway.
Okay, that's okay. So, Yannick, shame on you, damn. But this beside, it's Teskov now first position, overtook Neck, is looking pretty good till after the end of the race to having a good point gain for the part of the next race championship. Get the first position, and Benebunky third place, followed by Markovic now. So we have the bit of race 1 coming back here, but maybe Benebunky is able to keep him behind and close to Neck, that they will fight for the second position. And Latowski on 5th place, a bit out of the gap right now with 1.5 seconds now behind them, followed by Git and Blöckner. So it seems that he has to defend a bit against.
Yeah,
that we have a lot of fighting on. The pace today over the whole field is really amazing.
Okay, right. So I'm going to do some working out as we do see the action. As Drovosekov now hits the front of the field and took 30 right. Okay, so I'm just going to do this as things stand. So at the moment, that's 76 points that Drovosekov will have come the end of this race. You add that to 134 points. That's 210. Right. That's strange. I don't see Vidvoid on the time.
30.
Oh, he's in 30th. Okay, right. Well, he's had a shocker. He's going to tumble. He's going to tumble big time, is Luciano, because he only picked up. He's only at the moment picking up 6 points plus 139. That's 145. And Kirill Antonov finishing. Well, I mean it's 28, so 3 points for that. 29 plus 144. Oh, that effectively, by my calculations, Ilya Dorovosekov from Ballas Esports will have a massive lead come the end of this round. That's going to be, I think, 37 points, 210 for Dorovosekov, playing 173 for Kirill Antonov after tonight. If it finishes the way it does now.
Hope it's. Yeah, it seems. Right. Oh, we have a.
That was possibly that might have been Schmidt who's now dropped down to 25th position. Yeah, Boris Schmidt from the Dutch Sim Racing team, down in 25th place, and is behind.
Coming up behind there.
Yeah.
Hello, my friend. Fight for the 25th position. Let's go. So the fight never ends.
It never does, but Ilya Dorovosekov from Ballast Esports now pulling a small amount of distance between himself and Mihai Neg in the car behind, both running the same livery. Thank you
But
for
Nick
that.
is closing a bit right now, and Frank is losing fight against Markovic, so
I think he could be right there. The gap's now gone down to just over 1.4 seconds between second and third place. Markovic is within earshot of Bunky, so hopefully this might help. Markovic taking the opening win. That's a maximum of 45 points, and fourth place. That's a pretty good haul as well. That's 34 points. So this could put Markovic. Where is he at the moment? So 72. That possibly could put him ahead of Vidvoet.
we see it in there.
But we'll see when the standings update.
So
someone's gone very, very wide at the back, and someone's had a moment. Billy Crevy has had a drama as the Finnish driver now will, drops right outside of the top 20, drops to 24th when rejoining, but we are over the halfway point.
Yes, he's greeting, and now they're fighting together.
Yeah, so Mihai Neg now closing in on Dorovosekov. It's a little bit further back. Linus Grise from T3 battling away over Tyrolf. Or is
Very
that Kunze?
promising first race finish.
Yep, and that's Kunze just behind. Papendorf not too far adrift either, and Papendorf completes the top 20. But look at the trainer a few cars ahead, like literally. It was the Formula 4 train here at Watkins Glen. I don't know who was leading that, but that could have been maybe someone in the form of Lapanic, as Benson Bunky has closed that gap down between first and second and third to just over 1.3 seconds, and he's bringing Markovic along for the ride.
But there, I don't know. On race one bit of better. Oh, Benny Bunky. Oh, he had a issue.
Oh, and Griezmann has just rejoined the circuit and has lost a bag full of places, and will drop outside of, well, drop to the bottom part of the top 20 there. That's a real shame for the German driver. But yeah, this evening, Vincent, has been absolutely mad, hasn't it?
That's unfortunate that it happened. By the way, about the unfortunate things that happened, I got through, which got the driver penalty for speeding in this pit lane. He didn't press drive, started in the pit lane, and forgot to press the pit limiter.
And he's also got
how things can happen.
And he's got another drive-through penalty as well for ignoring slow-down warnings or whatever. Whoops. But we now concentrate back on the battle for P5. On board with Cody Nikolai Latkovsky from Akosi Racing International. Right with Kilian Goit from the Netherlands from Ballas Esports. And this is for P5 on the road with 6 3/4 minutes down the back straightaway they go for the dip into the next right-hander. And Latkovsky keeping quite very, very honest indeed. Drovosekov taking some interesting lines there through that right-hander, running the car a little bit wider to allow him to carry the momentum through. But the driver based out of Switzerland these days, still leading by just over 3/10. Latkovsky still keeping Goit very, very honest here as they now come through the next right-hander. Closing in on them. That is Joyce Blöcker, not too far behind Cody Nikola Latkovsky. That is for 6th position, but the lead still being head off. We are going to have 2 different race winners. And actually, we're going to have 2 different race winners this time around as well, because we'll have Matija Markovic and Ilya Drovosekov with the way things are going right now, Vincent.
Markovic had a bit on a start because he was stuck in drivers. Now he fought back on, and 1.5 seconds to go. Well, okay, never mind, 1.3. He's closing 5 minutes. Do you think his pace could be strong enough to get between?
He's already closed it by a couple of tenths already as Latkovsky again in the wheel tracks of Kilian Goit from the Netherlands. Still battling away over P5 and P6 respectively down this incredibly long back straight. You can see how close Latkovsky is to Goit as they go through into the next right-hander. As Latkovsky just waiting for the opportune moment to get through on the Flying Dutchman, who has been doing some pretty good work in this second race out of 2 for round 3 of the 2022 ADAC SimRacing Expo Community Trophy. Still here at the moment, Vincent, Goit has definitely has Cody Nikola Latkovsky's number in terms of being able to sternly defend.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I'm quite impressed. Wait, get it? Yeah, I get it. Okay. I would say I'm quite impressed how well they're defending today, and then I see him going up with wide with the rear. Was like, okay, hold on a minute, let's wait. But yeah, the defending today is. Yeah, they're doing it pretty well. Wasn't quite expecting. I thought they had quite easier to over. No, they all pretty fighting and defending.
Yeah. So we're getting into the last 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes to go. We're on what's effectively going to be our 11th lap. We completed a total of 13 laps of this circuit. And Ilya Drovosekov, who also took the fastest lap in race 1 out of 2, continues to lead the way, having got the leads off of Mihai Neg from the virtual drivers by TX3. The Romanian driver qualified 23rd on the leaderboard for this evening's proceedings. And Drovosekov has 3 minutes to go, 180 seconds to defend from the Romanian. And there has been a change. Bensebanki has got back past Markovic with Latkovsky, and Goit just behind, going side by side into that right-hander. And Goit just keeping it pinned on the inside. Latkovsky not able to find again another way through.
Waving, right? Is he trying to warm up the tires? Interesting strategy, but it seems they're on the behind. Kilian good again. Latkovsky going there really wide now, side by side to the left-hander. Yeah, Latkovsky is waiting a bit, try to get into the inside, a bit of oversteer through the throttle. Oh, he is doing it pretty well. Is it enough speed for taking on the? No, he was. Good. It seems the back swap, that easy to bring.
Yeah, when you're trying to do what in some terms would be classed as the old Nigel Mansell dummy. I mean, Latkovsky had a good amount of pace, had nailed the, like where he needed to place the car. However, Latkovsky didn't have the overspeed that he required in order to get past Kilian Goit. So you know, especially with the fact if you've taken the life out of your tyres really, really quickly, but now here we go, Latkovski to the
Ooh.
outside of Goitz. This could be the move as Markovic to the outside of Banki. This is down the back straightaway. Markovic
Oh,
keeps
look at
ahead,
this.
but yeah, just keep your eyes behind. And Latkovski go round the outside again through the right-hander, and as Latkovski got the job done, he has done into the
Yes.
next left-hander. Latkovski finally puts the pressure on, and Goit can't do anything about it with a minute on the clock to go. That was a beauty. And next time around, we're going to go onto our, I would imagine that's going to be our final lap of racing this evening here for round 3 of the 2022 Tatuus SimRacing Expo Community Trophy. And what a battleground we've had here at Watkins Glen, and the weapon of choice, in the words of Fatboy Slim, the good old Tatuus Formula 4 car, powered by its 1.4 litre multi-jet Abarth turbocharged engine, producing around about 160 brake horsepower. The Killian Goit is not giving up yet, Vincent, not by a damn sight.
On this position back as corners to go after then heating last lap. And we have here Oliver Höcke from RS Racing here on position. Are here sticking running into the last lap because I guess he's still followed by Sokol. Also maybe try to get some last points in.
Yeah, time has hit 0. We're on the 13th and final lap. It was lucky for one last time out because of Matija Markovic, but it's Ilya Drovosekov who leads the way by over 0.6 of a second in this second and final race of the day. And what a race evening it's been here, and a big thank you to everyone that has been watching from the minute we went lights out, but the checkered flag will be prepared this time. And Ilya